What's up, guys? Uh, New week. Market's about to open. Just plotted out my pre-market charts. Main watches right now is Nvidia and Amazon for me, just based on the higher time frame. Also, Tesla's a good one. I find Tesla kind of bullish, but it has been consolidating. But I am probably gonna wait for the first 5 minutes to form, because just we'll see. But Tesla is fairly expensive today, I believe. Yeah, that's very expensive. Um, Nvidia. So AMD is also expensive because of its earnings, and the IV is inflated, so that's a no. Yeah, I'd say Nvidia and Amazon, top two watches right now. We'll see if Nvidia has this pullback. This is the perfect retest I want. This is a key level I plotted out from Amazon. It's in from the pre-market a couple days ago after their earnings high. This is pre-market high retest. The buyer step up. SPY's kind of shaking it for me, but I think Nvidia could definitely hit 212 all-time highs. Has room. Probably gonna enter again. 84% rule. Damn. What happened to Nvidia? My stop loss is about right here. I let it push a little bit further, but I didn't expect this impulsive candle, so it kind of blew a little bit past my stop loss. That's why it's a $73 loss. I kind of wanted to limit it to like a 50 today, but it's okay. It's all good. Tesla entry would be about this. NVIDIA reclaim. Yeah, Spy's dragging down the overall Qs, and Qs is dragging down the overall market. And yeah, I don't know what to do. Tesla's always the one that's booming, man. Always, but I just can't afford it. Honestly, my stop loss was perfect. Um, like my entry, I waited for this to climb above this candle. As soon as it hit, literally, it's like dead right over. I bought it. So that's a really good entry, to be honest, in my opinion. Because, especially in this type of market, it's good to wait for candle confirmation rather than just entering like on as soon as it touches the key level. You have to wait for buyers, have to see if they could step in, which I did. And then my stop loss was gonna be pre-market low, I mean pre-market level, but I'm like, no, let's give it more room. That doesn't make sense. Still doesn't invalidate the trade because it's a zone. So I put it below this, and it literally got out like right here, according to my premium, my options chart over here. So from here to here, $70 loss. That's fine. 20% on the con. I could accept that. Yeah. So everything just sucks except Tesla. Like always, man. Tesla's so perfect all the time. I would have got in like right here. Probably about like right here. These pops would have been crazy. Let's see how much. Yeah. Tesla's about. I don't know how much it is right now, but I think about right here it was at 10. It's about this much. So it's up about $3 a con, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think a lot of people lost on Nvidia. This looked like really good, especially with Q's. Q's is like, it was green, it was popping green, and it just dumped out of nowhere. Yes, basically that's the story of my life. Lost in some ticker, can't afford Tesla to save me. Like look at the relative strength. Like everything is just down except Tesla. Amazon is maintaining its level, but it's just slow. No momentum. Look at this. It's not $4 a con. Many flag pattern forming right now. It's a bit of an aggressive entry, especially because I said like I want to wait to see the first 5 minutes form, and but it was just such a perfect retest off the pre-market high that I just like plotted out into market open. I did want the previous day high retest, but then I noticed it kept respecting and immediate like just like there's a lot of liquidity sitting here, and I noticed it's a pre-market high, so I marked it out and did a perfect hammer candle and then an impulsive green candle, so I entered it right here. I thought I could continue all the way up to 212 to be honest. And the Qs was looking good. SPY was weak, but Qs was looking good. But SPY is the one that dragged down Qs unfortunately. And that's what ruined everything. Um yeah, just it was a good trade, good thesis. Um Good probability trade, but just didn't end up working out. Yeah, now Apple's not even. Amazon's also not good. Tesla's the only one that's actually really good. It's insane. Yeah, 480 is gonna be a big one. Yeah. Oh, and 490. Yeah, 490. It could definitely push up to 490. So this would be like a good scale right here, and then 490. Probably be the final. Yeah, honestly, I lost about 50 bucks USD. It says 72 because I'm Canadian. Which isn't terrible. That's like still within my 10 to 20% risk per con. And that's about a 13% loss on the contract. Well within my acceptance, so I'm not mad about that. I wanted the $40 loss. That's what I was aiming for, which would have been about like 56 Canadian. But it's 20 bucks, whatever. Who cares? That would have been like my initial if I did an aggressive entry off rip, like right here. But that would be too aggressive for what I do. Way too much. Yeah, I'm surprised this happened, but let's see. 10 a.m. Red Folder News right now. Um, but I don't think it's like a super important red folder. I don't think it'll matter. All right, there it is. There's that red folder news. I don't know what happened. I didn't see it, but something happened. Holy. Yeah, I heard if you can't afford Tesla, you could get the double leveraged ETF and buy its options, but this is rather high. It's not even worth it. This is not good at all. Yeah, unfortunate loss, and I don't see a comeback happening anytime soon. Okay, double reclaim on spine Qs, which is good. We'll see what Nvidia wants to do. Meta was basically untradeable today. See Microsoft. Yeah, not great. AMD I know is just hold. Yeah, it's not good. Just waiting for earnings. Google is consolidating, still is. Hmm. Nvidia, I don't know. It doesn't look good on the 1 minute. It's more of a like long-term, higher time frame. Like it looks good on the higher time frame. Not even 5. Probably needs 15. Yeah, I don't know. Nvidia's just not looking good. Yeah, I don't see anything happen. I don't think anything will happen before 11. It's usually when I stop trading. Oh, yeah, Tesla just moved perfectly. Perfect retest on the order block. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but good enough to zone. And yeah, you'd have to get in on this candle, or it's just not worth anymore because the risk will be so big. It would have been like something like this. I would have gotten like as soon as the body got above the red, my stop loss would have had to have been break of the order block, and yeah, probably about right here. Yeah, it is 1.69, but this is the move I'd have to do with one contract, unfortunately. Yeah, but like according to the higher time frame, this was a key level, 40, 70, 75, around right there. This is you started seeing some, the first down close candle was at that level basically because on a 1 hour, um, uh, there was an important news event that happened right here on the 2nd of October. It's basically the high. It did go all the way up here, but 40, 470, 75 is where a lot of the sellers stepped up at this level on the 2nd of October. And that's why like it started like kind of a little bit reversing a little bit at this point, and then it went right back up because buyers really want to take this move. But then they just sold off from there just for a quick scalp. But the higher time frame, all time highs is at 490. So I definitely see Tesla hitting this by the end of the week, and that's why that's like the power of holding trailers. I'll just hold that. Yeah, but I'll be forced for this to be my move right here. This would be my exact move. Maybe I could have pushed it to 467 whole cycle, because this is not enough for me. So this would have been probably my next. If this one, if I saw like really strong continuation like this, which usually Tesla has, I know its personality, so 467 is definitely like a doable. But I would never, I would have never foresaw this, you know, like with one con holding through all this, impossible. I definitely would have scaled up 467. That would have been like from here to here, probably like two to $3 a con. That's like 200 to 300 bucks right there, and that's USD, so it'd probably be much more in Canadian. So I mean, not probably, it would be. Nvidia just keeps invalidating this previous day high, just not respecting it. Sucks that it didn't work out, but it was a great trade. Definitely would take it 9 out of 10 times. I'd say 9 out of 10. I did, say I kind of wanted to wait for the first 5 minutes to form, but it was just such a, like everything just aligned for this to happen. And my original thesis was breaking retest off the previous day high, but I saw just it kept respect. As I said earlier, it kept respecting this level. So I was like, maybe there's a lot of buyers sitting right here instead of right here. So it would be a good entry. It did pump up. Yeah, but like no one would scale out here. That just like I feel like it's a dumb scale. So instantly invalidated. Got out about right here, which is a great exit to be honest for me. Um, yeah, no, but if I waited for the first 5 minutes, I would have instantly known Nvidia's cannot work out, which is could be part of my journal. It could be like, yeah, I'm gonna put that in my journal, and could be a rule that I could enforce on myself for wait 5 minutes minimum. No matter what you see, no matter what setup you see, stay disciplined and have self-control. Cause like, look, with Tesla, I would have been okay to take this trade right here, cause it was 15 minutes past. We'll see. It might improve my win rate. You know, I'll avoid some losers, but also probably avoid some winners. You never know. We'll see. I'll probably add that in my journal and see over time. The more I trade from 9:30 to 9:35, if I lose more, then I'm definitely enforcing that rule. That was probably my first trade, I think, in the last month. Yeah, probably my first trade ever. Trading within the first 5 minutes. I don't think I've traded that ever. So still need more data to see if it's a viable option for me. I'll build a route. Yeah, but so far, yeah, I think it's done for the day. One loser. It's okay. Easy tank. Um, can't wait for one green day, man. Can't wait. Just the market just keeps upsetting me with all these tickers I trade except Tesla. Tesla's the only one actually printing, and I literally can't afford it. And I literally say in the pre-market, I like Tesla, but I can't afford it, and it always ends up working out exactly to my thesis. I did want the reclaim of the previous day high. It did it. I wanted the retest. I mean, um, didn't care about that. It retested this key pivot point I had, which is I know where a lot of liquidity was sitting. Boom, exploded off that zone. So I probably wouldn't have entered right here. This is too aggressive, like way too, even for Tesla. It's good to be aggressive with Tesla because like most of the time, if it runs, it won't give you a chance. It won't pull back for you. So it'll just keep running, and you're just gonna have a missed opportunity. So I probably would have not gotten on here. This is a bit too aggressive for me, even for Tesla, which usually you're supposed to be aggressive with. But then I would have plotted out this one candle, which I did before when this was forming right here, or this candle, I forgot. And it touched that zone. I would have entered about right here to see if buyers would step in. They did. Boom, rode it. Just would have been a great ride. But yeah, Tesla just I don't know. I might need to just start trading with a bigger account for Tesla, because Tesla would have made me green last month and would have made me money today. It would have covered my loss for Nvidia for sure. Both are great trades. Both I would have took again and again. No, it just sucks. It sucks. It's really annoying when this happens. We'll see. We'll see. My goal was to grow my account to be able to afford one con of Tesla, and then from there on, I could trade down all of them, all my tickers. The only one I probably couldn't afford right now is Tesla and Meta, but it's not even close. Compared like Meta is not even close to how good Tesla moves. No, it's not even it's night and day. So I wouldn't even care to afford Meta or not. Netflix was a big one, but I took that one out. Netflix, you'll see, Netflix is just so expensive. Like, look at this. Stupid expensive. Like, even more expensive than Tesla. And that's why I don't trade it. It doesn't move like Tesla at all. Yeah, like the continuation is just not as like, I mean, this is a lot of continuation, but um, like let's look at the higher time frame. Whoa, it's just consolidating. It's just a terrible, the earnings. I think I don't remember, but I think they didn't. Yeah, they didn't beat their earnings, so this is why this happened. Yeah, but it's slowly climbing, but it might break. We'll see if it breaks below this lower low. If it does, might be a change in character. But yeah, Netflix just doesn't move like Tesla does. So it's just not worth this. Like if I'm gonna trade a expensive ticker, it would just be Tesla. I don't really care about Netflix, so Tesla just moving perfectly. Yeah, my goal is to, grow it. It's a view on the 5 minute. Yeah, my goal is to grow it. Um, until then, and then I afford Tesla. And if I could afford Tesla and make some money, I could probably afford all tickers. So most likely, most of the time, it's just yeah, it's probably usually the most expensive one. Yeah, so yeah, if I could afford Tesla, I could afford every single ticker here. And yeah, now I'd just be compounding, snowballing my account over time when I could trade. I have freedom to trade any ticker, at least one con. And, that's just best. I wanted to, like I want to start trading with my basically like not my entire account, but my entire account in dollar value. So like Tesla, like Nvidia here is like you know about 300 bucks USD, so I could afford probably three cons with my Canadian account. So if I had three cons there, this would have been $210 loss. But because it's good to have the same dollar value for every single ticker you trade. So no matter if you win or lose on each ticker, let's say if I had one winner on Nvidia and one loser on Nvidia and one winner on Tesla, if the dollar value is the same and it has continuation, that's actually good. Like Tesla, for example, today, my Tesla win should have made up for my Nvidia win. Today it would have for sure if I took Tesla because Nvidia only took one con at 300, you know, and Tesla's a thousand something, $1,000 by itself. So that's a $700 difference in contracts and like dollar value for my position. And obviously, if that moved up, it would have just covered my loss in literally one candle because of the dollar value. And but if it was the other way around, if let's say I took Tesla one con, which is about 1,000, um, and I lost, and let's say I lost like 200 bucks because of one hit my stop loss, and I go to Nvidia, also trade one con, but the con is $3. That's a $700 difference in dollar value. Um, and if I win, if I have a good win on this, and let's say I hit my like let's say 210, 210.50, which would have been my first profit target, I probably wouldn't hold it until 212. Um, it wouldn't have covered probably that would have netted me from this entry about 150 bucks. So I'd still be down 50. And the reason why, even though I had a good move, better move than Tesla's, stop loss break, my stop loss would be much tighter. Because of that is because of the dollar value. It's 150 on one con. If I if I did if I traded the same position size and dollar value compared to Tesla, that would have been three cons. That would have been 900 bucks. So if I did that, it would have been a $450 gain. So that I would have netted 250 of the day. So it would have covered my loss. That's why it's very important to trade in dollar value, not just by cons. Um, but yeah, it just sucks. Like I wish I could afford three cons of every ticker here, but Tesla's just so expensive, and it's gonna be really hard to climb snowball without buying Tesla, because Tesla would have made me. I would have been profitable literally for the whole week, for the whole month. That's just what sucks. Because every single time I look at Tesla and I'm like, okay, this definitely could move up, up, up. And it always respects my key level. Pre-market retester here, fast one. Everything that I plot out, it respects. And yeah, just unfortunate. But it's okay. Time will help me out. I know that. I'm just monitoring to see what happens, but like expected, nothing will happen before 11. Mm, I'm just looking at charts on my other monitor. Let's see. A little reclaim on Nvidia. See what happens. But I expect no continuation. Big V-shaped recovery. That's the only reason why I'm looking at it. On Qs and SPY. But we shall see. It is getting stronger now, but I see, like, I'd have to hold it on the 5 minute. Just consolidating, just see if it could reclaim above this or stay, please above this level. Previously high. Um, they're really fighting it. The sellers and buyers are really fighting today. See, it's still maintaining previously high. See what happens. This is why I only trade from 9:30 to 11, man. This is just so slow. There's only momentum on the indices. Everything else is just so dead. Yeah, but I don't trade indices. I don't really like trading them because the more mean reversions, they're designed to be efficient. So it's because it's an average. So the continuation of them is not as large as single tech stocks, especially like Tesla today. Like you'll never catch an indice like doing this type of movement unless um, it's driven by news. This is what it usually looks like. It's a bunch of reversals like constantly. You know, this dump, yes, this is a good continuation, but usually SPY is more like usually ranges. You know, because it wants to be efficient. Makes sense. You know, everything did go down quite a bit, but overall it likes to do a bunch of mean reversions and reversals. You know, that's like if you're a reversal trader, indices is the best for that. But for my strategy, perfect is just tech. You know, because like break and retest, just the continuation of it. You need explosive movements, and indices usually tend to not have that. So, and they respect key levels much more too, which is a good thing. You know, but they don't have like perfect break and retest off these certain key levels. Like it's usually like either a quick retest or it takes a while to pull back. Just I don't know. So over a long time of looking at them, I just saw that. And they love to barcode and then explode one side. That's like a good setup I like with indices. Just like a simple barcode like this. So like within this range right here, there's within one candle, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven, actually now eight. Eight. Eight candles after this one candle. So it's not a perfect barcode, but it is like consolidation for quite a bit. That's like about 10 minutes. So I'd barcode this and this, the high and low, and whichever side it breaks out out of, like I just buy in. I don't wait for a retest. Obviously, it's like a breakout, but I just buy in. I would have bought in right here when this candle was forming. Boom, would have rode it. Probably would have got out at this key level right here or 680 whole cycle. I used to have 680 in the pre-market, but I moved it. I literally like this original key level right here. So at 680.50, it was at 680. It was about right here exactly. But I moved it because I found like this is a better key level for me. Yeah, 680.50 probably my take profit or 680. Both whole cycle levels to be honest. The 50s and the whole numbers. And I love that. That's the only thing I really like for indices. Like once I see that happening, I usually expect it to continue for quite a bit. I can show you another barcode. Oh, here, look, another one. Boom, boom. Look how many candles within this one candle. And as soon as it breaks out, I wouldn't have gotten, this is not good enough for me. Would have gotten on this candle. Boom, got in. Another barcode, by the way, but I would have held it because my stop loss would be a break of this, like break into back into this range. So it would have been still good. More barcode, big impulsive candle to the downside. I would have took profit right here. It's like, indices usually like to tend to move like that. Just consolidates and explodes. The longer the consolidation is, the bigger the explosion usually. And then it always tries to I can't talk. Correct itself after. You could tell. It always tries to come back, tries to correct or retest that level, but then comes all the way right back. Example right here. Boom. Explosion. Recorrection. It just constantly wants to correct itself because it is designed to be efficient, which is, it's a good thing. But it's not really good to trade for my strategy. These guys, not as efficient. They just like to do whatever. And that's what we want. We want trending, continuation tickers for the day, and that makes our strategy work best. And the highest probability for it to work. And the highest potential profits. So, it's kind of easier. It's actually easier to trade indices because, going into the day, it's like trading futures. It's the same thing. Going today, you know where you're gonna trade, you know its personality, you know what it likes to do. Um, uh, it it does constant reversals, so the consolidation. It likes to be efficient, so always come back to the range key area. You'll understand it more. You'll basically memorize how it moves, and especially with news, trading around news, it reacts very well to news, very 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 well, like almost perfectly. And especially when there's not much divergence between these two, when they're aligned, Qs is very easy to trade, which they've been aligned today because SPY keeps pulling everything down. But if they're not aligned, I'll just trade SPY. Last week they weren't aligned for quite a bit, but then they corrected itself towards the end of the week. Um, yeah, I was comparing a lot to see like what I want to trade, individual tech stocks or indices, because if I want to like go into futures, knowing the indices they literally move the exact same way intraday. So if you know how to trade these two, you know how to trade ES and NQ very well. But I just saw more success and my setups, like just how I see my personality. I just like individual tech stocks, so that's why I just stuck with them. And I'm still deciding what specific tech stocks I like most. That's still like, I already have my top three. That's like guaranteed lock. It's gonna be in my stack, but I'm still looking for others to incorporate. Right now I have the Mag 7 plus AMD so far. We'll see if I want to like cut some out. The first one would be cut out probably Meta. Like I do not care about Meta. Such a bad ticker, in my opinion, to trade. But sometimes it works. Sometimes it's trending and it's a good one to trade. But like I said, like if I'm trading something that expensive, I'd rather just look at Tesla. And if Tesla's not setting up, just not trade anything. I have these two. Just look at something else. That's why. But yeah, I never traded Meta in my life. That's why. That's like I don't think it's useful. But I just added it in there because it's part of the Mag 7 for a reason. Um, top three so far is Nvidia, AMD, Tesla. These are the top three I see that I'm like I know their personality so well, and I just know what they do. They move exactly how I want them to move, other than Nvidia, but like today. But my thesis accuracy with them is much better. It's higher because I just know what they do. And Apple is probably top like fourth place. I kind of like Apple, but it's much slower than the other three. Much, much, much slower. It's not as impulsive. And when it has relative strength, it doesn't run as much as I like it to. Continuation is not crazy, as you could see. But yeah, there was like no opportunity to enter an Apple anywhere, to be honest, from what I've seen. Because usually Apple does give you a chance to pull back. That's part of its personality. It will give you a chance to pull back, and it just didn't today. So I won't treat it as Tesla. Nvidia is probably second strongest after Tesla. Yeah, but I think that's it for today. Enough yap. Yeah, $70 loss. It's okay. Put in my journal. Learn from it. See what I could do differently. My entry was a little bit conservative, but I would do it again because I'm the type of person I prefer win rate over risk to reward. So rather my win rate be improved. So far my win rate has been 0% the last 2 weeks. Like on the overall day, not trades. I've won some trades, but not overall day I've been negative. The last, I'd say 9 days I took trades in. Last 9 days, I'm on a 9 day losing streak. Yeah, and somehow still haven't blown up my account. And I'm not close to blowing it up because I'm so good with risk management. I'm so good at risk to reward, and that's one of my strengths, so I play to it. But just, me losing so much, it's bringing my account down. It's annoying, but every single setup I've tried to take, and it's a good thesis behind it. Um, Good setup too. It just never works out other than Tesla. It's just so insane. Literally, I've been taking Nvidia and AMD lately, the past 2 weeks. I took Google once, but Google, like, I don't. My headset died. Um, I don't normally trade Google, so I don't have enough data to see if that's a good ticker or not. But it is part of my stack for a reason. Um, yeah, but so far AMD and Nvidia. Some were trash trades for sure, especially 2 weeks ago. It was really bad. I was an idiot. But last week, very corrective, very controlled, and I took 2 trades on Tesla. Did end up being net negative $50, but it's just because um, I didn't hold it for continuation because I had one con. That one con didn't surpass what my loss. Didn't cover my loss, and that's because I couldn't hold it. And it just didn't make sense. You have to take out high day and then these trailers. That would have covered my loss for sure. But it's okay. It's okay. That I know it just comes with time. Me growing my account, so I could be comfortable trading that much money in one position size. Yeah, I just have been on a losing streak with just Nvidia and AMD. Some were trash trades, but the last 2 trading days, so today and Friday, great trades. Great trades. And there's only one Nvidia that I missed out on, maybe because I just didn't like the retest it hit. I was kind of fearful. I feel like it's like not a good setup, but whatever. I just like missed out on it, and it worked perfectly, exactly what I said. And that, kind of almost gave me FOMO, but I stayed disciplined, did not enter anything dumb. That's the only trade that would have been a winning trade that I missed out on. Everything else that I saw, and my thesis was a losing trade, and some I entered, some I didn't, because like I didn't like the price action, and but it would have been a good setup regardless, and some lost, so and I didn't enter. I was like, that's good, but it was still a good thesis. Just because you lose doesn't mean it's a bad trade. Like today, it's a good trade, and also um some trades I don't enter, and I see it not working out. Oh, I already said that, but some trades I do enter, it doesn't work out, which is has been the theme lately. And but they're usually good trades, unless they're revenge trades. That's the only or over trades I'd say. That's the only one day I over traded ever, and I never did it again because of how much I hated it. It's very dumb. I tend to learn from my mistakes very quickly. That's one of my strengths. So I'm glad I have that. And but it makes me more conservative. So there's always a pros. There's pros and cons to everything. It does make me more conservative, more fearful. Um, but yeah, I implemented like as soon as me just getting in, as soon as like a retest, I would have got in on this candle 2 weeks ago, right here. Just got in right here. As soon as this candle ended, got in. It's a good hammer candle, which is my favorite. It's perfect for me, you know. Before, but then I'm like, no, I implemented let's wait for candle confirmation first to increase my win rate. It will hurt my stop loss, it'll make me lose a little bit more, but my win rate will be much higher. I did just that, still lost, but still a good trade. But I'll still continue doing that. I like that for my personality. Some people like the aggressive as soon as it touches, you get in, and if it invalidates to $40 loss or $30 loss on that, would have been a small one, and then you could just ride it. But I don't know. It will hurt your win rate. It would increase your risk reward, but your win rate would be like 40% using this. It's just not good. I'm trying to aim for 60 to 70, and this is what's gonna get me right here. This candle confirmation, just based on my back testing. Yeah, but I'll hopefully tomorrow have some success other than Tesla. Hopefully. So frustrating seeing everything work out and I just can't get in. But yeah, hopefully Nvidia gives me something tomorrow. AMD will be hands off tomorrow because it has earnings tomorrow after close. IV is fairly inflated. That's too much. Yeah, but once earnings, see what happens with earnings. If especially if they beat their earnings, which I think they will, I see AMD absolutely booming to the upside. You know, let me go look at Polymarket real quick. Let's see what's happening with their earnings. Palantir is today, I believe. After close, it has an 86% chance to beat it. So let's look at Palantir. Yeah, 86% chance, which I think they will too. They've been going crazy this year. And especially the last quarter. Um, whoa. Yeah, I have this set up just for people to see my entire, everything. Yeah, past quarter, past month alone, just been doing very good, very, very, very good. So they'll for sure beat it. Obviously, this doesn't dictate. Like, this is not the only factor. I'm just saying in general, they have a good chance to beat it, and Polymarket thinks so. Like the people think so in general. Polymarket is like a prediction website. I use it sometimes. Um, yeah. So if Palantir beats its earnings, which I think they will, see how much Palantir is. Yeah, it's fairly elevated because of the earnings, but yeah, because everyone wants to buy it. Everyone thinks they're gonna beat it. It is not a good intraday, but to buy it right now, and then if it beats it, just skyrocket. Just expect to skyrocket overnight, right after market closes. But I can't afford it, to be honest. I probably could buy this right here for sure, but um, I don't really play earnings. Like I'm not an earnings trader, but cause sometimes if you're wrong, like Meta for example, everyone said because if you see they were doing good, you know, like the entire year basically, especially this quarter. Look at this gap up, because um and more gap ups, did this gap up too, because everyone kept pricing it in that they're thinking they're gonna beat their earnings, because everyone thought for sure Meta's gonna beat their earnings. There's no way. Um, everyone kept pricing it in, and buying into it, especially right here, buying into it. Look at this gap. They kept pricing it in. Had an 80% chance to beat it. The people thought 80% chance to beat the earnings. They did not. People who bought right here, thinking it's gonna just blow up into all-time highs. Look at this dump. This blew a lot of people's account for sure. Lost a lot of people a lot of money. And this is the risk about to gamble. Playing earnings. And that's a gamble I'm not willing to take, even though if it works. Like for example, Amazon. People who this is because of OpenAI and Amazon had a deal, but Actually, we could do 1 hour. Amazon last week. Look at this. They beat their earnings. Look at this. People who bought it right here, like in this day. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Amazon had a good chance to beat their earnings and they did. So same with I believe who was it? There's another ticker that I forgot which one it was. Apple. Yeah, look. Look at his earnings. Google also beat their earnings. Microsoft did not beat their earnings. Look what happened. Yeah, it's just Tesla beat their earnings. Boom. No, earnings traders, I don't know how people do it. Just, I think it's a good gamble. I mean, a bad gamble. It's just not worth, because, like, let's say you traded every single earnings to the long, like, or you're just, like, basing off Polymarket. Polymarket was wrong 2 times out of, like, the 8 earnings that happened of the major tech stocks. 2 times. Where it was, like, 80% chance to win, and they didn't. And I think it was Microsoft and Meta, I think. And I think those 2 losses would have blown your account up like straight up, like destroyed your entire profits. 'Cause they were big, big moves. That's why I don't trade them. But I think I believe Palantir will beat it. AMD I think will beat it also. Let's look at Poly. Let's see what happens at AMD. Uber also has their and Shopify, 2 big names in the Nasdaq. 87% chance for Shopify to beat it. 86 for Uber. AMD has a 92% chance to beat it. And I think they will. I honestly, I'll be very surprised if they don't. That would be devastating. People who bought into that. Um, they're already trying to price it in right here. It's like that's what creates these major gaps, especially right here. Look at this. Just they keep pricing it in, and the entire market moved like this. Literally every single ticker. And now it's like trying to correct and trying to like consolidate. It's just holding for its earnings. Like no one's buying or selling too much. Like these are like sure they look big, but they're not gonna be as big as the earnings candle. So they're just waiting, consolidating until earnings, and that's the only thing that AMD's waiting for. And I think, like buying AMD in Power Hour, at like 3 to 4, and most likely it will ride. Um, I don't really trade Palantir, so I delete it. I only trade if it's a hot name for the day, but technically, usually I keep this, the Big Ten, that's what I call them. That's my 10 tickers. 2 of them are indices, so I don't trade, but this is my signals. And then 8 tickers, so. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be, I mean, AMD could be a good trade, but I won't regret it or have FOMO that I didn't buy it because if it blows up, I think it'll blow up. It'll break all 3 of these levels. I'll let you know by tomorrow in my when market opens. I'll show you guys. I believe that is all-time highs. Yeah, this is all-time high. Yeah, I see AMD just boom boom stacks, just breaks every single level all the way. This will be my profit target right here. I'll sell right here, and I believe it'll break it literally overnight if they beat the earnings. Only if. If they don't, all these 3 getting demolished, going all the way back down to like right here. This is how bad it'll be dropping. But I don't see a possibility of them not beating it. They've been going crazy. And so does the market thinks also like 30, 92% chance. Robinhood later, Wednesday. I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll call it here, guys. Good day, but it's unlucky.